Hi guys, and welcome to another video on the old great game Championship Manager 0102. Over 20 years old, and so many people still love this game, myself included. So another video today. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to show you something a little bit different to the normal sort of shit that I show you. A lot of you all know fantasy football. You know, we all see it. It dominates sort of all the back pages in the build up to a new season. On the forums, the championshipmanager0102.net forums, if you're not already on there, get on there. It's all free, it's all good fun, and there's lots of different bits and pieces to interact with. And there's various games, you know, all your updates are there and this and that. But there's one particular set of things that take place, and I think these are fucking brilliant. There's this thing, right, it's called D.T.L, Dream Team League. I don't even know what it stands for, if I'm honest with you, but I call it the D.T.L. The guy that runs the forums, Mark, he runs it all. Now, firstly, hats off to Mark, because the amount of work he puts in on the D.T.L is just absolutely insane, which is why he does it weekly. There is also an alternative interactive game called the CML, which I used to participate in, but it just got a little bit too much with all my other shit that I do. I'm making out that it's a lot of work that we do. I don't do much work. Now, the fun element of this, right, and let me explain to you how the DTL works. I'll look at it as, I'll explain it as if we've just started. So, you can only have 16 people in a single CM game. So you can only, if you're going to do this DTL, you can only have 16 participants. So what Mark did, and I'm going to keep saying what Mark did because this is all Mark's work. I'm not claiming any credit for what I'm showing you here because this is all Mark's work. So basically, Mark will first things first, you get your number of people. You get 16 people. They choose their team. Now there are various things you can get off the forums to tweak your game and to do various bits and pieces. One of which is to release all players. And the reason I'm telling you that is because, as you can see, I chose Wolves. Now, if I just click on Premiership a minute, I chose Wolves and various different people. So, Spectral, he chose Chelsea. Spectral is also the guy that runs a CML, which is a slightly different game. And so everyone's chose their team. And then what Mark has done is a bit like the old fantasy football. Everyone's got a budget of money, and he then puts out an auction of players. So let's hypothetically say he's done a bunch of players. Let's take, for example, I didn't like this bastard, so we'll choose him. Steve Stone. So Steve Stone is amongst this list of auction players. Everyone that's participating will then send Mark their 5 bids. I think it was 5 bids out of a list of like 20 players. We can bid on 5 players. So clearly at some point Spectral has sent a bid to Mark for Steve Stone. Let's say hypothetically, I think we said increments of 100,000. So he may have bid, I don't know, 300 grand. And I might have sent Mark a bid, 200,000, and so on and so on. But then nobody might have bid for Steve Stone. And you could get him technically for 100 grand or whatever. And Mark will then keep us all updated with who's been given who. And by the end of it, and as you'll see, by the end of it, these are the players that I've ended up getting on auction. And the fun element of it is you've got to make sure you don't go over your kitty, and you can pick up players. For example, my best player, I mean, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever played this, and we're in season 3. My best player, clearly by far, is Vieira, and I think I paid something fucking stupid for Vieira. But obviously you've got to remember, we could only bid for 5 players. So if you've bid for Vieira and I bid for Vieira and I've got him, that's fucked up one of your bids almost. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I probably don't even know on the work that goes in on what Mark does. So obviously when Mark's he says to me, Mike, you got Vieira, so and so you got him, he then moves that player to the team in the editor. So Mark does all the fucking hard work. I kid you not, he does all the hard work. We are in season 3 now, in case you're wondering why Colchester are over here. But it's highlighted by Trunky, who's done a really good job for Colchester, to be fair to him. We are in season 3, so we all start with the same. In fact, reputation of teams and stadiums don't mean nothing because we're not playing the game ourselves. Mark is doing it all for us. Once we've got our squads, we then send Mark our lineup. So, for example, that is the most recent one. I sent this about an hour ago to Mark. This is for the forthcoming month that he does, because he does it a month at a time. More about that in a moment. So that's I send Mark purely my team setup and my tactics, and we'll post it on the forums. This is why the forums is massive, because a lot of communication is done so much. Now, back in season 1, I think I won my title with Wolves. And then, of course, season 2, we do transfers, we do more bidding. I might exchange a player to a fellow human player. I think Mark gives the option of selling players back to the game. He has a spreadsheet of some kind. And the interesting thing, and this is the beauty of it, this is what I love about the D.T.L. personally, personal opinion here, this is what I prefer about the D.T.L. in comparison to Spectral CML. Mark has restricted tactics. And season 1, the only tactic you could use was 4-4-2 attacking. Arrows, you could have anything you want, and you wouldn't be able to change any of this because you're not sending Mark a tactic. You were only sending him a baseline. Like you see, I could move arrows like I've done, but it had to be 4-4-2. Then basically what Mark's done is, over the turn of the second season, he unlocked another tactic. And the second tactic that was unlocked, we agreed, so you could either have 4-4-2 or 4-4-2-4, I believe it was. I don't personally like that tactic, but again, you could change arrows and shit. And then for season 3, the tactic unlocked for season 3, which is what we're in, I believe, is 5-3-2 attacking. And I think Spectral, who is killing it at the minute, is something like that. In fact, we could have a look actually at Spectral. Yeah, it's something like that. It's insane. So anyone can play any one of those 3 tactics. Now, season 1, you can probably see we're playing the ODB 3.960. Now, I believe, again, don't quote me on this, whoever won the title in season 1 gets to choose which database we play in the second season. They can choose either the ODB again or the next official update, which was, of course, the 3.968. They chose, or for whatever reason, it was agreed that the ODB would be for season 2 and again for season 3. Now, the reason I'm saying the ODB again, so every time it's a new season, Mark completely starts a new game again. So whilst we're in season 3, right, and Colchester, obviously you won't see Colchester's history because he starts a brand new game. He moves Colchester into the Premier League. He moves all the players again over to Colchester that they've bought. So you see what I mean about the workload is just absolutely insane. Mark will also give prize money to teams for finishing wherever they finish. You'll always get some prize money because you need it for the auctions at the end of the season. Winning cups, you get prize money. Little bit thing that I was a little bit pissed off about, if the truth be told. Season 1, I think it was either runners-up or champions of the first division, so I got promoted. Season 2, I finished 4th in the Premier League, so technically, I should have been in the Champions League. And to be fair to Mark, Mark did put it, he put me for Champions League, but the problem was, whoever won the title, I forget who it was, I think it might have been Spectral again, he chose ODB for season 3, because he gets to choose. And the ODB, the very first season, for those of you that know the ODB, only 3 teams are in the Champions League. In real life, that's how it was. It was 3 teams, and that's why. So obviously, because Mark starts a brand new game, season 1 is only ever 3 teams in the Champions League. So obviously, season 2 in the D.T.L perspective was still season 1 on the game perspective. That's why I didn't get it. So it's fair enough. I was a bit pissed off because I thought I did so well, and I was more pissed off because I'm doing so shit this season. So what Mark will do is we will all send our team lineups to Mark and our tactics, and then Mark will play a full month. So for example, as it stands, Tuesdays he sends an update and he sends everyone's results. He sends a copy of the save, which is what I've loaded up here, and you can see I had an absolute atrocious month. I mean, I say atrocious month, there was only 3 games for me during March, but they were shit. They were absolutely shit. So yeah, I got knocked out of the FA Cup to fucking Grimsby. I mean, come on, fucking Grimsby knocked me out of the FA Cup. So you can see we're in the home straight now, season 3, and there's no way of being able, unless I was to search it up. Obviously, don't get confused here. Charlton did not win the fucking Premier League in 2000. Not actually sure why that says Charlton, or if I'm truly honest, because Liverpool didn't win it in 01. So I assume he's changed the history of that. He'd have done it for a reason, no doubt about it. He'll have done that. I know why he's done that. I think, yeah, it's so. Yeah. It was Man U, weren't it? It's so Man U were not in the Charity Shield because obviously someone chose Man U. I think it was London 35. Yeah, so he chose. That's why he changed the history. Okay, so no one's chose. No, it doesn't matter about runners up, does it? But obviously, but who's Liverpool at the minute? Redders. Is Redders? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So he changed the history to Liverpool because in the game, yeah. I get it. I get what he's done. So yeah. So this is the D.T.L. and it is really good fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. I picked up some players, right? He has no. I don't think he has no limit on your squad. So I picked up some players that I'd end up. Let's say I've got no money left on my bank when I was doing the auctions, which he does at the end of the season. And he's put the list of players, and do you remember this guy? I think I got him for like a free. One of my 5 bids was for Yobbo on a free. Nobody else bid, so I got him. But the problem is, let's say next season we go on the next version of CM, the 3.968. So firstly, it'll be 4 people in the Champions League, but more so, Yobbo was a better player. He will automatically be at my team, and he'll be a better player. So, to be honest with you, I fucked this up really because my squad is pretty shit. I mean, come on, who buys Joe Tessam? I mean, come on, behave. Fucking Southampton shit stain. But yeah, the bottom line is my squad is not strong enough. I mean, I picked up Claudio Lopez, and somebody said to me that was last season. I got him. I had him for. Season, I think I got him. I return of end of season 2. I don't know. Some people are going to have different opinions about how to things. I think the work that Shane Tolley, I fucked up here because I brought Shane Tolley knowing he turns into a great player. However, I fucked up because we don't play a second season within the game, so it's irrelevant really. But let's pretend on the next version, on the updaters, Shane Tolley was an absolute monster. I would really benefit from it because he's starting to come good, but we're fucking April in the year, so it pays off to buy an aging player that you can get 1 year out, one year out of. It really does pay for that. So that is a D.T.L. So if you're not on the Championship Manager 0102.net forums, you've really, you're missing out on a lot. Like I said, you've got D.T.L, you've got CML. And I think there's another thing as well. I'm sure there's a third game. I think Ray was going to kick off. I forget, but it's all under the interactive subcategories, and it's not just those games. There's various other bits and pieces, and I think somewhere on my channel, I think there's a link to it. I think I've got it linked in my bio or something like that. I don't bloody know. So yeah. Get over there, get registered, and what you've got to remember is, right, particularly, we're coming to the end of the season, so what Mark will do is he will ask everybody that's participating, are you all still happy to play for the new season? And hopefully, most people will say, yeah, we're all good, and let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so he's got 15 players. I think he might have a waiting list, so let's hypothetically say, let's take Trunky. Trunky decides, I haven't got the time, I've got a lot on at work, because, we all do have fucking lives and shit. Mark will contact someone on a waiting list, say, look, do you want to participate? And then I think you either inherit someone's team, or you start from scratch with the budget, or blah, blah, blah. But Mark is your best person. He will answer anything, and there is a lot of stuff, different threads to do with the D.T.L. So if you're not on there, get your asses over there. Right guys, take it easy, I'll see you soon.